Alright, welcome back. Sorry, I had to reset my camera there. Let's talk blades, so that's what we're into. Today I'm going to show you guys another self-defense knife. This one is the Spyderco Civilian, and yes, this is the case that it came in. Weirdly enough. So yeah, here it is, Spyderco Civilian. And this kind of goes into the whole self-defense, like the Spyderco Matriarch and Matriarch 2. Excuse me, Spyderco Matriarch. You can see that. That is a menacing looking knife. Price tag on this is $224 even on Amazon. It comes with a little tag that says this knife is not meant for heavy cutting. Any damages done to the tip will result in loss of warranty coverage, something to that effect. I threw that tag away a long time ago, but it's very clear that this knife is meant for one thing and one thing only, and that's, well, we all know what that is. But yes, this is a very, very aggressive tip on there. It's a very fine tip, so that's why it comes with that warning tag. It's wrapped around it comes with on a string that's wrapped around on a tag string wrapped around the hole right here. Tells you that if you damage the tip at all, they are not held responsible to repair it in any way or replace it. So it's a very, very fine tip. Very fine tip. And I've seen a lot of civilians that have broken probably around about here, and then people have grinded it out because how thin this piece of metal is right here. So delicate, you know. But it's really nice. You got the G10 handle scales. You got one slab of steel liner right there, and you can carry this tip up or tip down, because you can switch the pocket clip anyways. So I think that's really nice. And yeah, it's really, get a whole hand on that. Really hacky slashy. And yes, it did come in this nice felt zip up carry case, which, you know, I thought that was really nice. It didn't come in the normal Spyderco box that it would normally come into. So this is really nice. It's one of those weirdies. They call this the reverse S. But if you look, it says Spyderco VG10, Seki City, Japan. So yeah, $224 is what they're listing it on Amazon. We'll go into the specs real quick. Go into the weight. Hopefully my scale's working. I tried to recalibrate it. You're looking at 4.7, yes, 4.75, 4.74 ounces. Under 5 ounces. It's not bad. And of course the measurements, we will go into that as well. That is it says 4 inches right there, with an overall of 9 inches. I want to say about 9 inches. That's a pretty big knife. Pretty big knife. I'm actually kind of curious to see if they, oh yeah, so they did. They milled out the steel liners in there. You can see that. You can kind of see it. Milled out steel liners right there. A weight reduction. And let's see how thick it is. The handle is 10.4, and at the blade you're looking at 2.7. So yeah, depends on whether or not you want to carry something like this. It's only single purpose, and it is pretty wide right there. So when it's sitting in your pocket, it is going to take up a little bit of space. But it is set up to where it goes in your pocket like so. So when you pull it out the pocket, it's just easier for you to pop that open. Because it doesn't have the wave, I think that this configuration right here makes sense. Pulling it out the pocket like so, and then popping it open with the thumb hole. It makes complete sense. It's one of those knives that, with great power comes great responsibility. I don't know if this knife has power, but I'm saying you're going to have to be well known of the consequences therein using this, because you don't just use it to cut rope. You don't use it to cut your mail open or what. I mean, I'm sure you could do all those things if you're careful not breaking such a fine tip, but this is meant for cutting flesh, not mundane things like boxes and string and whatever. I'm sure you could do all that stuff with it, but it's not intended for that. If you're careful enough, I'm sure, this will be good for whatever you want to use it for. And at the end of the day, it's your knife. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. But if you know what it's intended for and you bought it for that intention, then be responsible with it so you don't ruin it and you don't fall into any type of situation where you have to draw this out to protect yourself. So I'm not going to cut anything with it. I mean, I can cut some paper with it, but you can already tell it's Spyderco. It's got teeth. It's going to be sharp. It's menacing already. This is just one of those scary knives you pull out of your pocket and you pop this open, and someone might pee themselves just a little bit. They might think second thoughts about not pursuing you. But because this knife is a $200 knife, this isn't exactly, and it's a single purpose knife, this isn't something that I would EDC on a regular. I would probably take the Matriarch over this, but this is nice. This is nice, food for thought. I've seen somebody cut through, it was a leather jacket sleeve with, I think they put like some sort of steak or meat, beef in there, and then someone just they ripped into it and it cut through it like a hot knife through butter. No problem, no damage to the blade. It went through the leather and it went through the meat, and if you looked, there was only streaks from the moisture of the meat on the blade, and there was no damage whatsoever. So this thing is pretty mean, and it is capable of doing a lot of damage. Of course, the reason why it's so thin up here is for the slicing capabilities. And you get a little bit of belly down here, but it's almost unnecessary unless you're like really, really in there and you're really going to use it for that. Obviously, you cannot thrust with this knife. This knife isn't meant for that. Otherwise, you would see jimping here somewhere for that, for it to be possible, but it's not. It's meant for ripping, tearing, and slashing, and nothing more. So if you're into that sort of thing and you want this knife, Amazon has it. Like I said, $224. It feels really good in the hand, and it is one of those scary knives you pull out and your attacker might think twice before approaching you. Maybe, hopefully. Unless they have a gun, then this is useless. But whatever, what have you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.